Nominees for the 2025 Game Awards have been announced, so it's time for us to make some predictions. Let's talk about them. Hello there everybody, and welcome to The Comfy Spot. My name is Tyler, and today we are going to be going over the nominees for the 2025 Game Awards and making some predictions about what I think and what I hope will be winning at the big show. You know, the Game Awards are the big show, the gaming's quote-unquote Oscars. I don't like to call them that though. The big show at the end of the year. Everyone's looking forward to it, primarily for game announcements and trailers and reveals, less so for the actual awards. And you know, the show itself has kind of done like a weird job in regards to the balance between awards and trailers in recent years. Last year was better than 2023, but still, I made a whole video about it back in 2023, displaying, laying out my issues with the show and how it needs to improve in that regard. Neither here nor there. The awards, even though they do play second fiddle to the reveals and trailers, the awards are still a big part of the show because they do, kind of set the narrative for, what games are popular, what games are the biggest and the best in any given year. And they kind of give us a sense of, all right, where the industry is going in terms of what type of games people really like and what type of games people really want to play, so on and so forth. That's a deeper conversation. By what I'm just said just now is like really surface level, not exactly the way I would like to perfectly describe it, but it's not really why we're here. We're here to talk about predictions and what I think is going to be winning at the big show. So it's going to be a long video, so sit down, strap in. It's going to be a long one, going to be a fun one though, hopefully. A couple things to note up front though before we get into the predictions. Number one, I like to say this every single time I make these videos, it should be known that, number one, Jeff Keighley does not pick the nominees. He does not do that. The nominees are chosen by, many different games media sites, select games media influencers all across the world. They are the ones that vote on the nominees and pick who gets, who we're going to be voting over today, who we're going to be predicting over today. Jeff Keighley made the Game Awards. He does not vote on the Game Awards, nor does Jeff Keighley choose the winners at the Game Awards. That is also a different voting jury body and everything. Jeff Keighley is just the host and creator of the show. He does not vote on anything. He does not determine who wins anything, okay? Every year, that's always like a big controversy, and people always like, no, Jeff, especially when it's a year when Kojima put out a game, and Kojima's got a couple nominations here, so of course you're gonna see people say, oh, of course Kojima got nominations, he's Jeff's best buddy. Well, that's not why, because the people that voted liked the Kojima's games. They liked Death Stranding too, not because Jeff wanted it here. So I always like to put that out there, that way everyone's on the same page. Number two, in terms of what I will be predicting in this video, we're not going to be going over every single category because there's just far too many. And also, while we will be going over most of them, some of the categories here I have no interest in or no basis in at all. So like all the esports stuff, we're not talking about. Content creator of the year, we're not talking about. Some of the other categories like say innovation and accessibility, won't predict it, but I will give it like a quick look over, but like sports game, strategy game, mobile games, all that stuff, we'll likely not even touch it at all. Probably won't even look at it for a moment. We'll just be like, cool, and move on. So want to lay all that out there. Also, some games that are going to be here I have not played yet. I haven't played many of these games, actually. I've tried to keep up to date on the games that are here myself by playing them, but just time and money, haven't been able to play all of them. So for some of these predictions, it'll be what I would like to see win from the category based off of just my feels, but also just the general reception and critical reception that I've seen and been made aware of over the year as these games have come on out and everything. So just want to put all that out there up front. Also, I have only seen a couple of these categories, like the nominees in a couple of these categories. I have not seen all of the categories. I've not seen all the nominees. Oh God, that's truck outside. Jesus, I apologize for that. I have not seen all the nominees. I've only seen a couple, but I am well aware that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 has like the most nominations of any game in this entire show to this year, and I think also of like any year period. I think this has like the most nominations of any game in a single show. So that is a thing that's happening this year. So all that preamble out the way. It's enough talk, enough hullabaloo. Let's get comfortable, let's get cozy, let's have ourselves a fun conversation predicting what I think is going to be winning at the 2025 Game Awards. All right, so here we go. We have the full list of categories here all laid out as we can see. Like I said, we're not doing any of the esports stuff. We're not doing content creator of the year. I might look into best sports racing, but I'm probably not voting on it at all. Definitely not voting best sim strategy. Some of these categories, like I said, we're not going to really dabble in. We're going to keep it moving for the most part. We're going to try and keep this speedy and expeditious. So we're going to start though with most anticipated game. Okay, here we go. It took a while to load up, and I do not know why. But most anticipated game, this category right here, purely fan voted, as opposed to all the other categories, which are, again, the winner is chosen from 90% of the actual voting jury, as like what determines the winner for most categories, and fans, their vote plays like a 10% role in the winners for most of the categories. Most anticipated though, 100% fan voted. Let's see. As they say it here, recognizing and announced a game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. So, Kingdom Hearts fans, I love you guys. It's not going to be here. It's not going to be here because we have seen nothing from the game that, fits this category. So if you're wondering, why is Witcher 4 here? Well, we got that like tech demo or that in-engine Unreal Engine 5 demo of the game earlier this year, which is why it's here, even though like that game is years away. Whereas Kingdom Hearts 4, all we got was that in-engine trailer years ago and then 7 screenshots earlier this year. So Kingdom Hearts fans, don't worry, read the criteria, you'll understand why it's not there. Anyway, nominees here are 007 First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, or The Witcher 4. Of course, I'm going GTA 6 on this, without a doubt, no question about it. It's GTA 6, need I say more? If I was to pick anything else from here, me personally, my most anticipated would be Marvel's Wolverine right after that. And then beyond that, I mean, it could be a toss-up between any of the other three. I'm looking forward to 007 First Light. It does look really good. I do want to see more gameplay from it, though. Resident Evil Requiem looks amazing. I'm not a Resident Evil guy, but it looks fantastic. And The Witcher 4, again, that was an in-engine Unreal Engine 5 test thing that they were doing, not the actual game just yet. It does look really awesome, though. Visually, what they were doing just with that in-engine test looks fantastic. So, that said, though, GTA 6 is, of course, my bet. I mean, it's GTA 6. I love GTA. That game is looking phenomenal. Looking absolutely phenomenal. So, cannot wait to play that when it comes out next year. All right, so next category here, we have Best Adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. Nominees here are a Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell Death Watch, The Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn. This is an interesting category to say the least. I have yet to watch Devil May Cry. It's one of those things I want to watch. I have it on my Netflix watch list. Splinter Cell Death Watch, I also want to watch. I've heard good things about that, heard very mixed things about Devil May Cry. A Minecraft movie, I didn't watch it. I had no interest in watching it. It exists though. And Until Dawn, I haven't watched it yet either, but I've also heard kind of sort of mixed things about that one, more leaning towards negative than positive, but I'm very intrigued by how that one turned out. That said, like, by virtue, I would vote The Last of Us Season 2. I did enjoy the season overall, even though the season was definitely a weaker season, in my opinion, than Season 1. Some of the changes that they made, character-wise, plotting-wise, wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of. We got to see how things play out at the end of the day come Season 3 and maybe Season 4 if we get to a Season 4. Even still, though, I did enjoy the season. I know, many people did not like it, be that because of the changes that they made, be that because they just went into it blind and were like, oh, nope, I'm out. I understand both sides of things. I liked it. I wish it was as strong as the first season. but it wasn't bad at all. I did enjoy it. So I mean, I'm gonna vote Last of Us 2, season 2 on that basis. Maybe if I saw Splinter Cell, maybe I'd feel a bit different. Maybe I'd feel more stronger towards that. I don't think any of the other three would sway me over this, though. And something I saw people online pointing out, actually, was that it is surprising, now that I think about it, that we do not have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 here at all. When that came out, I think just before or just after the Game Awards last year, if I'm correct. If not, it came out earlier this year, and my memory of this is just fuzzy as all hell. But it is surprising that it's not here. You would have expected that to be here, considering how much buzz there was around that movie, both in the gaming community and like critically. Like, from what I remember seeing, that movie was seen as being significantly better, like an actually genuinely really good movie, not just like, oh, a good video game movie or a good Sonic movie. Like, no, like genuinely a really good movie, the best of the Sonic movies so far. So I am surprised it's not here. Interesting that it didn't make the cut for whatever reason. Perhaps because people forgot about it? I don't know, but it is interesting it's not here. All right, our next category is going to be Best Multiplayer Game for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game, genre, or platform. The nominees we have here are Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring, Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. This is a very interesting category because I feel like I think this can go one of two ways. I'll say one of three ways, okay? Peak, from what I understand, fun game, definitely like in that AO, content creator, multiplayer, in online space bag, where like, you just get together with a couple friends, just have a fun time for a bit, and that just turn your brain off type of fun. Definitely in that bag. I think I remember hearing some chatter around it early this year. Same, but I don't think it's gonna I don't think it has the legs behind it, the push behind it to really take the win here. Arc Raiders has been a surprise hit in recent weeks, even from what I've seen, surpassing Call of Duty Black Ops 7 numbers on Steam, which, yes, Steam is just like a small piece of the pie when it comes to Call of Duty's player base, which is, a whole lot on console, and then there's also like Call of Duty on like Battle.net and stuff. Like, Call of Duty's player base is spread out, it's widespread, but still, for Arc Raiders to be surpassing Call of Duty Black Ops 7's numbers on Steam, and it's just like that's a big thing. That's a big thing for, a new IP to do to an established juggernaut like COD. That said, though, I don't know if I don't know if it's gonna win. I don't know if it would win over Battlefield 6 or Elden Ring Night Rain or Split Fiction. Like, what Arc Raiders has going for it, just from my opinion, there's just no shade to Arc Raiders at all. What I think Arc Raiders has going for it, aside from it being seemingly a really good game, really well-designed game, is the recency of it all. Like, the recency of it in relation to the voting. It's just like, whoa, really came out of nowhere, like, in the past 2-3 weeks. Whereas Battlefield 6, and this is going to into the games I think have a better chance of winning, Battlefield 6, for example, yes, came out like in this recency window of sorts, but it came out a bit before Arc Raiders, and it's still having legs. Like, it came out beginning of October, if I'm correct. Yes, beginning of October. It came out October 10th. 10th or the 11th, one of them 2 days. And it's had some really good legs since it came out. I remember I played the beta. I have yet to play the full game, but I did play the beta, and I really, really enjoyed the beta for Battlefield 6. It was so much fun, so much fun. I had an absolute ball with it. I wish I could have played it for longer. So like for Battlefield 6, it going back to like the Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 days in terms of what the gameplay feels like, and really just nailing all the fundamentals of what Battlefield is and delivering a genuinely fun, just intense, hectic multiplayer experience. I think Battlefield 6 is doing a fantastic job there. Of course, Elden Ring Night Rain, cannot count that out at all. People, going into Night Rain, I have not played it, but I remember going into Night Rain, there was a bit of like trepidation, like, do we really want this from Elden Ring, from Software? Then the game came out and people were like, hey, yo, actually, this is hitting. This hits so goddamn hard. To now where, the new expansion got announced for it, people are like, yes, more of this, we want more. So Elden Ring Night Ring has a fair chance of winning. And then the Split Fiction, which, yes, it is not competitive multiplayer, but it is still a co-op multiplayer game, story focused, of course. I played a bit of this game. I have not finished it. I actually started playing the game earlier this year with host of the Trophy Room podcast, Mr. Badbit, aka Joseph Moran. Shout out to him. We didn't get to finish our playthrough, and I don't know if you did finish it, but I would love to get back to it with you at some point in time if you have not. And if you have finished it, then I'll find a way to play it myself. But either way, I did get to play a good chunk of, I don't know how much I get to say we got to play with it, but we went through like the first sci-fi section, the first fantasy section, and we went back to sci-fi. We were doing I think we started like the Mega Man type area where like you jump out of the plane, or like you jump out the military jet, you're falling down, you're skydiving. We got to that level. Either way, Split Fiction, a lot of fun, genuinely really creative level design, creative gameplay. Loved the whole one person's driving the motorcycle, but the other person's doing the phone, trying to unlock the phone. That was hilarious. I was the person trying to unlock the phone. So Split Fiction has a very good shot at winning this too. But I feel like this is gonna go towards more so like a competitive multiplayer type of game. So with that being said, what do I think will win? I think Arc Raiders would be like the surprise dark horse out of nowhere winner from this category. I think Battlefield 6 is maybe more likely to win, considering I just think it's the more likely one to win. Arc Raiders also has kind of like the AI stuff going against it, which I could see many people not wanting to give it the win on that basis. Who knows? We'll see. But I think Battlefield 6 has a very good chance of winning this. Seconded by, I'll say, Split Fiction, and then Elden Ring is like a third place right there. I'm gonna vote Battlefield 6 though, just from what I have played of it. That was just an amazing experience, amazing multiplayer experience. Could not get enough of that game. So that's why I'm going Battlefield 6 for my nomination here for best multiplayer game. But hey, I can really see a lot of these winning here. I can see Elden Ring or Split Fiction winning it, and Arc Raiders could take it too. Who knows? No shades to any of these games. This is just my thoughts, my opinions on it all. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick pit stop into the best sports/racing category, pun not intended. Just real quickly, we have EA Sports FC 26, F1 25, Mario Kart World, Rematch, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I'm not voting on any of the games here at all, but I did want to jump in here real quickly to say, honestly, I would not be surprised if Mario Kart won this solely because it's Mario Kart. I have Mario Kart World. I played it when it came out. I got it on my Switch too. I think it's a good game. I think it's like a solid 7 out of 10, maybe 7.5 out of 10. But like the open world free roam aspect of things, it definitely, in my opinion, drags the game down because the open world bleeds into the design of everything else. So when you're doing like your Grand Prix and you're just doing the races in between the Grand Prix where you're just driving on the road to the next track, those races are pretty boring in my opinion. They're not the most exciting. It takes a while. Like when they are at their most exciting when you are playing online. If you're playing offline specifically, they're like very boring. But when you're playing online, they're a bit more exciting than not. But even still, it's a design quirk where it's like, you get used to it, you're trying to see the vision and all, but it doesn't necessarily work that well in my opinion. And the open world on its own, even aside from the racing aspect of things, just the open world itself wasn't that interesting or engaging to me. Like there's stuff there, but it's kind of just like, all right, it's fine. It's not all that interesting or engaging to me. So That's why, you know, like, I personally would not vote Mario Kart on this. I know Rematch, from what I understood, people really enjoy Rematch, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds has its own huge fan base. So I could see it, maybe Sonic Racing taking it, but honestly, I think this is the one where, like, you know, Nintendo's gonna get it because it's Mario Kart, and Mario Kart, I mean, that's not to say that people didn't enjoy it and give it high praise when it came out. People did, but I don't know. That's just, I wouldn't vote for it at all. That's why I'm not voting anything in this category. I'm not a sports racing person, and Mario Kart is like the only game here I played, so I'm not doing it. Just want to give my 2 cents on that. So we skipped the best sim strategy category, and we're going to jump into the best family category for the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. This is another one that I do not imagine I will be in very long at all. Probably am not going to vote in this category, but the nominees we have here are Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction. Okay, interesting. You know, for years the best family category has kind of been seen as like the Nintendo game category, which, you know, fair assessment. I would not have expected to see Split Fiction here though, because I mean, yeah, like, you know, you could say it's family because of the couch co-op aspect. It is, you know, PG-13 type of game, or very, like, you know, maybe a hard PG, light PG-13 game. You know, you could play with, you know, a younger family member or something and just have fun going through it. It does get very goofy and weird at times. Like, I loved, oh my god, the whole pig little side level and stuff. That was utterly hilarious. It was dark at times in that pig level, but it was hilarious. I loved it. So I can see it, but I never finished the game, of course, so I can't speak to everything in it in terms of how family the game is. But then you have, you know, all the other games here. Your kart racers, which obviously fit the bill, Lego Voyagers, which looked utterly adorable and charming, and like, I would love to play that game. I have not had the opportunity. Maybe I will next year, who knows. Lego Party, of course, Mario Party, but make it Lego, and Donkey Kong Bonanza, which just seems very delightful and fun. So I don't think I'm gonna vote on anything in this category like myself. What do I think is gonna win in this category though? I think it's a very good shot between Mario Kart and Donkey Kong because the Nintendo of it all. Mario Kart is also just like an easy breezy, you know, pick up and play. Hey, we're here, we have the family over, let's play this. You know, little Johnny and Sally and stuff, they want to play a game together here, throw on Mario Kart. They can just, you know, go racing with each other, or racing in the open world, or race against each other, whatever the case may be. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Mario Kart ends up winning this category. It's very likely, in my opinion. I'm not gonna vote for it, but you know, that's what, you know. No, I'm going to vote that I want Split Fiction to win, but I honestly think Mario Kart is gonna win this category. Split Fiction is just an awesome game, man. It's such a great game. I'm gonna give it the nomination here. I really think it's a great game, and I do enjoy it more than Mario Kart. I just think Mario Kart will take the win here. Alright, so we skipped the best fighting game category because of all the games in there, I know nothing about them. Have not played any of them. I'm not much of a fighting game person, so we're skipping over the best fighting game category and we're going straight to best RPG. This is for the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. The nominees here are going to be Avowed, Eclair Obscure Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and The Outer Worlds 2. This is where I believe we start to get into the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 sweep, unfortunately. I say unfortunately, stick with me here. I do not hate the game. I gave the game a 9 out of 10, okay guys? Go watch my review. I highly enjoyed that game. Get off my back. But yeah, this is an interesting category here. Interesting category. You would think Monster Hunter Wilds would have a good shot, but from what I've gathered over the months, I think sentiment behind Wilds is lower than it was with Rise and or World. So I don't think Wild is going to be getting this win here. Then you have Obsidian with both of their titles here, which it's still wild that they put out these two RPGs in the exact same year. Utterly wild thing to think. I have yet to play The Outer Worlds 2, but I did play Avowed. I did an impressions video on it when it first came out, and I was highly enjoying it at the time. I did finish it, and I highly enjoyed it by the time I was all said and done with it. I think when I made that impressions video, I was feeling like maybe a 9 out of 10. By the time I finished the game, I was leaning more towards like an 8.5 out of 10. Still, really great game. I really enjoyed Avowed, especially the combat, and it was so good, so good. That combo, dual wielding the flame sword and the ice axe, that had my heart for like basically the entire game. Do that, switch over to some magic with the wand, and just it was such a fun time, such a fun game. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, man, I have not played this game, but I know the people that have ride for this game so hard. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 fans, you guys have been fighting for this game, preaching for it. Stick with me here. You guys are kind of sort of like the One Piece fans of the year when it comes to RPGs. Like, you all are like, no guys, trust us, play it, trust us, you're gonna love it when you play it. Oh my god, do it. It's awesome. It's an amazing game. You guys, if you understand what I mean, if you're in the anime community and you've played this game, or even if you haven't played this game but you've been aware of things, you get what I'm saying here. We're eye to eye on this one. But hey, again, I don't think it's gonna win it, but I know there's a huge fan base behind it. I do think this goes to Clair Obscur Expedition 33. That was an amazing game. Absolutely amazing game. Like I said, I give it a 9 out of 10. You can go check out the full review. It's on my channel here. The story was very good. I think the story, we might talk more deeper on that a bit later on. I should say, when we get to that, we'll talk spoilers. The story was really good. I definitely loved when it comes to the battle system and the character building of it all, in terms of like how you build your character literally. That was very well done. I loved the Pictos and the Lumina system. Like I said in my review, I would be sitting there for like 15 minutes at a time trying to decide how I wanted to divvy out the Pictos and Lumina and everything. It was really good. And the abilities and how you just chose the abilities you wanted and stuff. It was just so much fun. Party composition, weapons that you use with your characters, and how that all functioned with your Pictos and Lumina. It was a lot of fun. I had so much fun playing that game when it came to the building your characters, when it came to the combat, when it came to just the experience as a whole. I really enjoyed Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So that's why I personally am voting for it for Best RPG, and I think it's going to win Best RPG as well. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I'm sorry fans, I know you guys are riding for it. It's not gonna win it. I will be shocked if it does, but hey, you guys, it's a winner in your heart, and that is all that matters. All right, next category we have is Best Action Adventure Game. For the Best Action Adventure Game, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Nominees here being Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Split Fiction, and those are our nominees here. For Best Action Adventure Game, what do I think will win and what do I want to win this? I love Split Fiction. When I played of it, I do not think it's winning this. Unfortunately, you're cut. Indiana Jones, honestly, I think has a very strong shot at this. I know people were highly praising how immersive Simi it was, and just the puzzle solving and everything, how it blended everything together to make a really great Indiana Jones game. I think the only thing working against it is the fact that it came out like very late last year, which is why it's here now. So like it could have been overshadowed by so many other games, specifically Silk Song, Ghost of Yotei, and Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. That's why I think Indiana Jones might not take the win here, even if it is deserving of it. I think the real contenders, obviously the real contenders here are Death Stranding, Ghost of Yotei, and Silk Song. I think Silk Song is the clear front runner in this race, partly because it's Silk Song, just the Silk Song of it all, but also people really loved it. People loved, from what I gathered online, people really enjoyed the way Team Cherry iterated, built on the Metroidvania aspects that they had with the original Hollow Knight, and just really improved on it across the board from what I gathered. So I feel like Silksong has a good chance to win on that basis right there. Death Stranding 2, I've not played it, but I've been playing the first Death Stranding this year. I am on chapter 8, whatever chapter the Hartman chapter is. I love Death Stranding. I love the first game. This is my first time playing it. I adore this game so much. So much. So if Death Stranding 2 is anything like the first one, I have full faith that it is utterly deserving and would be deserving of winning the award here. Ghost of Yotei, I have played, the most recent game I've played. My review on that is coming soon. I have finished writing it over the weekend. I know it's taken me some time. It's taken me a couple weeks since I finished the game to have the review done. But I finished writing over the weekend. The review will be coming in the next week or so look forward to that coming soon-ish. But in terms of Ghost of Yotei, I'm not going to try not to give away the goose too much in terms of what I say in my review. I do think the action aspect of things is top-notch in Ghost of Yotei. When it comes to the adventure stuff, it is more of what we got before, so not necessarily a bad thing, but it doesn't necessarily move the needle much or push the envelope much in terms of the adventure, the exploration, the puzzle solving, when it comes to what we had with Ghost of Tsushima. So again, Ghost of Yotei is not a bad game. I highly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, but if we're comparing it to the others in this field, I feel like it would get bumped. But it would get bumped more likely for Indiana Jones. So I think, though, what do I think is going to win? What do I want to see win? I think that Hollow Knight is going to win this category. So I think Hollow Knight's going to win this. And what do I want to see win it? What am I gonna put my vote on? What do I want to put my vote on here? You know what? I'll be basic. I'll vote Hollow Knight. I'll vote Hollow Knight on this. I see no harm in doing that, because the only other one, if I wasn't to vote Silksong, it would be like Death Stranding 2 based on what I've played with the first one, but Death Stranding 2 is not Death Stranding. I haven't played it. Indiana Jones, it would be based off of vibes, which, I mean, fair. I just did that for Silksong, but for the reasons I said before, like, I don't know if Indiana Jones would win this, and also immersive sims and me, we could be like kind of hit or miss. I have to really play it to be like, yeah, I have to play it to be like, I get it, I'm with this. So I don't know how much I myself would have liked Indiana Jones anyway. So I don't know if I'd feel confident be like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for that. Whereas Silksong, I haven't played too many Metroidvanias, and I do want to play the first Hollow Knight, but I could see myself enjoying that game and liking it enough to actually like play it and put a vote on it. So I'll vote Hollow Knight Silksong for Best Action Adventure. But this is more so one where I think it's gonna win, and not that like I'm like, yeah, I'm genuinely rooting for it to win. It's like, I think it'll win this, so I'll place my vote down for that. Right, next category is Best Action Game. For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. Nominees here are going to be Battlefield 6, Doom the Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. This is an interesting category here, because every single one of these games was highly praised when they came out. Battlefield 6, people again have sung that game's praises when it comes to the combat and everything. I myself have played it, and I love how combat feels in that game. It's just so much fun, so good. Doom the Dark Ages, I haven't got around to it yet. I don't have Game Pass anymore either. I canceled that once they raised Ultimate to $30, which no, not for how much I play my Xbox. But Doom the Dark Ages, I I can see it possibly, I can see it hanging, especially because, both the previous Doom games, Doom 2016 and Eternal, were really fun games, just really high octane action. So Doom the Dark Ages, I know they introduced the parry, more open spaces, the melee weapons and stuff. So I can see it taking it. Hades 2, it's Hades and Supergiant. It's got that going for it right there. Ninja Gaiden 4, this is Platinum and Team Ninja working together, and people had critiques about Ninja Gaiden 4's story and level design, but the one thing they did not have any complaints about was the combat. I'll tell you that much. So I can see Ninja Gaiden 4 being a strong contender here. And Shinobi Art of Vengeance, I saw some conversation when it first came out. I didn't see too much, but the conversation I did see was that, this is just pure action, 2D side-scrolling gameplay at its best, and you can't get anything better than this here in the field, in the space. So every single one of these games here has a claim to the spot. And what do I think is most likely to win? I think the most likely to win is Hades 2, because this is Hades. That is a bit reductive. I want to be fair. That is a bit reductive. I don't want to sound like I'm taking away from Supergiant Games and what they did with Hades 2. Hades 1 is a fun game. I have played it myself. I haven't finished Hades 1, but I played a good chunk of it and I did enjoy it. And Hades 2, if they built on the foundation of what they had with the first Hades, it made it better, improved it in different significant ways, I can see it it's be more than deserving of all the praise that it got. I mean, I think it got like multiple 10 out of 10s when 1.0, when it came out of early access. So I can see it taking the spot and being very deserving of it. I think if any other game was to win it, it would probably be Ninja Gaiden or Ninja Gaiden 4. Yes, as I just said, the story and level design was heavily critiqued with this game, but the action gameplay, the actual moment-to-moment combat was not, and people sung all their praises about that. So when we're talking about an action game and what really matters in it, it is the combat. That is the thing, the pure action adrenaline rush that you're getting from the game. And I think Ninja Gaiden 4 will be able to take it in that regard. Shinobi will be the dark horse in this race. I think it really comes down to Ninja Gaiden 4 and Hades 2. I am going to vote okay, I think it's Hades 2. I'll vote Hades 2 because why not? Again, this is more of a I think it's gonna win than this is really like what I'm placing my chips down on, what I want to win. But yeah, I can see Hades 2 taking this. I can see it happening, and I mean it'd be deserving. Hades, Supergiant will be deserving of the award. I cannot take that from them. Cannot take it from them. All right, so we're skipping best VR AR game, and we're also going to skip the best mobile game categories, not categories I'm versed in or all that much interested in. We're going to jump to best debut indie game for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. The teams that we have here, or rather the games, we have here are Blueprints, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Despelote, Dispatch, and Megabonk. Interesting category here. This is a good category. The only game I have not heard of here is Megabonk. I'd like to learn more about that one. But we have Blueprints, which came out earlier in the year, near the beginning of the year. Puzzle game, a puzzle roguelike type game if I'm correct. And man, that game was also getting so much praise when it came out. So I can see that getting a nod here. Despelote, again, another way more like lower key independent indie game that many people are not aware of. I'm only aware of it because I've seen people in games media talk about it, but the people I've seen talk about it have also sung the praises of this one. Because of how low key it is in the way the nominations and the voting works, I don't think that Despelote will win this, but just it being nominated at all, I think, is a very good thing. Then there's Dispatch, which just recently came on out, episodic Telltale-esque type of game. We had 8 episodes released over the course of 4 weeks. I really want to play this game. I haven't had the time to do it though. This is a game that's like right up my alley. But even this one, has been getting a lot of praise for its writing and the character work and just the story. So I'm super happy to see this game get nominated here at all. That's dope. Very funny picture that they have, even if it is like from the key art. Like I said, Megapunk, I know nothing about it, so I can't comment on it. But again, I mean, this is gonna go to Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'll be surprised if it goes to anything else. Not to say that Sandfall Interactive is not deserving of it. They 100% would be. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is an amazing game, fantastic game, especially for a first-time studio. I'm gonna vote for it. It's what I think is gonna win, and it's also what I would like to see win based on what I have played from this category, what I'm aware of from this category. Yeah, Clair Obscur, it's gonna win this. Again, like I said, the Clair Obscur sweep, it's inbound. It is inbound. It is coming in fast, guys. Okay, so next up we have Best Independent Game for Outstanding Creative and Technical Achievement in a Game Made Outside the Traditional Publisher System. Here we have Absolem, Ball X Pit, or Ball Cross Pit, however you want to pronounce it, Blueprints, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Hades 2, or Hollow Knight Silksong. Okay, interesting category here. I've heard of Absolem. I don't know too much about it though. Ball Pit, I know this is like one of those, it's a roguelike game that also, well no, rather this is one of those games where it's like, it's the ball, you have to bounce it to like hit the things that are on the top of the screen and stuff. It's one of those types of games, but it merges roguelike elements with that type of game. People have been really enjoying that one from what I've seen online. But again, when you look at the nominees here, like, it's gonna be Clair Obscur, Hades 2, or Hollow Knight, purely because of like the pedigree behind either the team making them or just the game itself being like such a mainstream critical and commercial darling, that like I don't think any of these three games is going to win, be that Absolem, Ball Pit, or Blueprints. I don't think they're going to win. And I think if anyone was going to say that like one of these should win over Clair Obscur, Hades, or Silksong, it'd probably be Blueprints from what I've seen online. I think people would say Blueprints should win this award. Unfortunately, that's not how things are going to go. Almost certainly it's going to go to Clair Obscur, Hades, or Hollow Knight Silksong. And this is interesting too because like I get, outside the traditional publisher system, but like Clair Obscur has a publisher. I mean, all the other ones do too. The only ones that don't have a publisher are Supergiant and Team Cherry. So I mean, I don't know, I guess when you say outside the traditional publisher system, you mean like the EAs, the Activisions, the Microsofts of them all and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. What do I think is gonna win this? This is the only one where I don't think it's a clear win for Clair Obscur because it's going up against Hades and Hollow Knight in the exact same category. The only reason I think it would win it is because Clair Obscur might be the easier or more approachable game in comparison to Hades 2 or Silksong, which Silksong has been, people have been talking about how difficult that game is. In Hades 2, it's a roguelike, which could easily be a turnoff for some because, just how the die, repeat type nature of the game is. Not to say that a turn-based JRPG is going to be many people's cup of tea either, but a game like that has that that prestige type of appeal it's going for with its narrative and everything is something that more people will be likely to play and go for than a Hades or a Hollow Knight Silksong. So I think I'm gonna abstain from voting. Well, no, I've already voted on some before that like I probably should have abstained from, but whatever. My vote counts for 10%, guys. My vote is not going to sway things much at all. What do I think will win here? I like it. It's either Clair Obscur, Hades 2, or Silksong. What do I want to win? What am I gonna vote for? That's the thing. I don't feel confident or comfortable voting for Clair Obscur when you got Hades and this in the same category. I don't know. This is interesting. I think this is tough. I think it's Clair Obscur, and whatever. I'll vote Clair Obscur too. I'll vote it. I don't feel like all that proud of it because of, like, you know, context that I gave, but no harm, no foul. Again, 10% of the vote. And anyway, I think it's gonna win it. I think it has a very good shot of beating Hades 2 and Silk Song, but do not be surprised if one of those two, it's going to be one of these three: Clair Obscur, Hades 2, or Silk Song. One of these three is going to take this award. I'd be shocked if it was not one of those three. All right, so now we are on Games for Impact. We skipped over Best Community Support and Best Ongoing Game. Those categories, not ones that I'm really invested in or know too much about. And even like Best Ongoing Game, it's kind of like, you know, the same games each year. I think there's Helldivers 2 there this year, and Marvel Rivals this year as well. I don't have much to say in that regard with either of those games. You know, the Fortnites are there and stuff, so I mean, it is what it is. Helldivers might win it. Actually, Marvel Rivals will probably win that. But anyway, we are on Games for Impact. This is the category for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Nominees here are Consume Me, Despelote, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. God, I wanted to play that. So many games I missed this year. South of Midnight, and Wander Stop. Of this category, I have only played South of Midnight. I know I wanted to do a review for it earlier this year, and it wasn't coming together, and there was other stuff I needed to do, so I kind of like tossed the review to the side. I did like the game though. I probably would have given it a 7.5 out of 10. Like, it was definitely a good game. There were just aspects of it that I think could have been better. But I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the game. I liked the story and what it was going for, especially like some of the messaging that we got in that story. It was a good one. Again, elements of it that I wish could have been better, but a good one overall. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, man, I wish I got a chance to play the game earlier this year. I really wish I did. Despelote, again, like I said, people have sung that one's praises. Consume Me, I think, is a more recent game I've seen people talk about. I've seen like not too much conversation on, but I've seen people really enjoying that one, or like enjoying the message behind it. Wander Stop, I remember this one. I don't remember too much about what it was. I think you were playing as like a girl who was a hunter of some sort, but then she got hurt or injured, and then she ends up basically doing like life management sim type stuff, and then coming to terms with stuff about herself and everything. I don't remember the specifics of it, about the premise behind it. Interesting category here. It's always an interesting category. The always seems to be at the category where like narrative focused games like are sent to. They're kind of like just like sequestered into this area. It'll be interesting to see what wins here, for sure, especially if it's, you know, something like Despelote. That'll be really cool to see something like that win. I mean, I'll vote South of Midnight because I did enjoy that game. It could also win it too. It could possibly win it for, you know, it being like the most high profile of the games here. But also just like, again, I do want to say like one of my favorite things about South of Midnight was how deeply it revered the culture that it was all about. Like the love of that Southern Bayou culture, that Deep South culture, was just on complete show in South of Midnight in every facet of it. From the art direction to the character designs, to the music, to the performances, everything about it was just a pure love letter to that culture. It is not something that really gets displayed or put on display that often. And the story as well, like just there was so much about it that just was just beautiful to see. So I'm feeling good putting my vote behind that. I would love to see it win. I don't know if it will win, but I would love to see it win for sure. South of Midnight, I think, will definitely be deserving of the win here in Games for Impact. All right, innovation in accessibility. This category, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Nominees we have here are Assassin's Creed Shadows, Atomfall, Doom: The Dark Ages, EA Sports FC 26, and South of Midnight. I am not voting on anything here. I'm not an accessibility person. I'm not one of those people who is super well versed. I'm not one of those accessibility advocates, people who are out there fighting for it. I do not get what I just said wrong. I 100% am a supporter of accessibility initiatives. I'm just not one of those people who is, you know, like on the ground, boots on the ground in that beat and all. But I'm not voting on this category at all, but I did want to put a spotlight on these games for seemingly being, games that are pushing forward accessibility in the games industry. That's something that we should always be pushing for and appreciating and celebrating, games that are trying to make it so that more people can be able to play them in whatever way, shape, or form that they can. So shout out to these 5 games here. Good on you guys for being able to, for being games that are trying to push the medium forward, push the industry forward, push the space forward, and make gaming more inclusive for anyone and everyone. All right, now we get into best performance. This is awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. The nominees here are, we have 6. Ben Starr from Clair Obscur Expedition 33, he played Verso. We have Charlie Cox, also from Clair Obscur, he played Gustav in that. Erika Ishii from Ghost of Yote, she was Atsu in that. Jennifer English, also from Clair Obscur, she played Mael in that. Konatsu Kato, from Silent Hill F. I presume she plays the main character. I presume she's the Japanese voice actress for the main character. I think the main character's name in that game is Hinako. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry if I'm wrong. And then Troy Baker from Indiana Jones, playing Indiana Jones, of course. Good list here. Good list here from everything I've seen, and from what I've played as well. Wild that we got 3 nominations from Clair Obscur in this one category. That's actually just can't believe to see that. Man, this can go many different ways. I think the obvious front runner from this category are like the Clair Obscur nominees, just because everyone just praises that game to high heaven. Not to say that the performances in that game were not great. They were really great performances. Although I liked Gustav. Do not get me wrong. I liked Gustav and I liked Charlie Cox's performance as him. But like, I was not in this like, oh my God, he did an amazing job as Gustav. He did such an amazing voiceover performance, like many other people. So I feel like if we had to drop someone from this nominee category, it'd be him, in my opinion, personally. Swap him with someone else, maybe. But neither here nor there. I wouldn't vote for him. I cannot speak on Silent Hill F with Konatsu Kato. But again, from what I've seen and heard, and especially in regards to the story of that game, great job overall. Troy Baker, I mean, you just got to watch a trailer for Indiana Jones and you see, bam, he's got it. That's all you got to do. So, I mean, it makes sense that he's here. I can see him winning it on that alone. For me, personally, the vote is going to go between Ben Starr, Erika Ishii, and Jennifer English. Again, my Ghost of Yote review is coming soon, but in my review, I specifically highlight Erika Ishii. She does such a great job, an amazing job as Atsu in that game. She brings a lot of heart and just desperation and emotion and intensity and fierceness, aggressiveness and anger and hate and everything to that performance. And she just balances it all so goddamn well. She is fantastic in the role, for sure. She's 100% deserving of it. Then you have Ben Starr with Verso and Jennifer English with Mael. Both of them also did really great jobs in their respective roles. Jennifer English bringing the innocence, the wonder, and then the pain and suffering and all that Mael has. And then Ben Starr bringing his own softness, but then his own just everything he brings to the role. He does a great job with it. And there's a specific line that he has, it's actually at the very end of the game, where, you get 2 endings to choose. You have 2 endings to choose when you get to the end of the game. And if you choose one, he has this line that he says over and over and over and over again. And I'm not saying what it is specifically for spoiler reasons. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. He has this one line that he says over and over and over and over and over again when you do one of the endings. And God, did that hit so hard. Like, I still think about that line read occasionally. Just him saying that, just like it was so good. So for me, I think I would give it to him. If I had to vote here, for me personally, it would be Erika Ishii or Ben Starr, who I would want to win this. I'm gonna go Ben Starr, because I mean, he did a great job all throughout the entire game. But man, that last line he has, just, oh gosh, that hit really hard. It hit really hard, and you know, I think that was a great summation of his performance in Clair Obscur. Erika Ishii though, like, girl, you killed it. You absolutely killed it. I loved Atsu. You did a fantastic job with her. You deserve all your flowers. Trust me, you do. All right, next we have Best Audio Design, which is recognized as the best in-game audio and sound design. This category with nominees are Battlefield 6, Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, and Silent Hill F. Okay. This is not music. Hold on, I just want to see something really quickly. Is there a best? All right, there's the best score in music category. So I'm not voting Clair Obscur here because the sound and audio design, it's cool, it's fine, but like, it's nothing I'm writing home about. The music, different story. Death Stranding 2, I cannot speak for it, but Death Stranding 1 did a great job. Ghost of Yotei, also cannot, well actually, Ghost of Yotei, we got some good stuff there. I think this really comes down to Silent Hill F, if we're being honest, and Battlefield 6 for just like, I mean, Battlefield 6, it sounds like a goddamn Warzone when you're playing that. And I didn't even play with headphones on. I can only imagine how it sounds with headphones on. In Silent Hill F, it being, you know, a psychological survival horror type game, you know, sound and audio design has to be top notch with it. So it's gonna be one of those two games, almost certainly. If Clair Obscur wins this, I will be like shocked, because personally, there's nothing about the sound and audio design of Clair Obscur that screams, yes, you deserve this win over something else. Music is a different story. That is not the same as sound and audio design. I do not think Clair Obscur Expedition 33 should be taking this win at all. I'm kind of surprised it's here, to be quite honest. So I'm gonna vote Battlefield 6, just again, based off my time with the beta. Sounded amazing. That was a freaking Warzone in that game. So I'm going with that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to Silent Hill F either. I'm sure it'll be very deserving of the nomination and the win specifically as well. Now we are at Best Score in Music. This is for Outstanding Music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. Nominees we have here are Christopher Larkin for Hollow Knight Silksong, Darren Korb for Hades 2, Lorien Testard for Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Toma Ottawa for Ghost of Yotei, and Woodkid and Ludwig Forsell for Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. You know, I feel like this could go to honestly any of these games, and it'd be like, yep, that makes sense. Ghost of Yotei has a really good score. Really love the score in that game. It just like, it hits you from moment one. And then just like her like Atsu's theme, just the down, 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 and like just hearing it whenever you're like doing the Wolf Den missions. Oh, it sounds so goddamn good. Sounds so good. Lorien Testard really brought the heat though with that Clair Obscur score with the music. That the music in that game, it's really something else. It's really something special. It's one of the core highlights of the entire game. You know, I loved the music in every area, be that the sunken waters, when you're in the overworld, the boss music. Oh man, just, you know, the boss music that plays during I forget, there's like specific fights where like some certain songs play, where a certain boss song plays, but oh man, the boss music in that game, so good. I used if you go check out my review, the song that plays at the end of the review is the song I was referring to. Like that's one like just like the oh my gosh, where you have the music, the instrumentals going in, and then the vocals and the vocalists are just singing their hearts out, and just hear like the screaming. It's just like yeah, it's so good. So I'm gonna vote Clair Obscur on this one. I think it's very likely to win it as well. It could go to honestly any of these in the category. I don't think anyone would be too mad about it though. But Clair Obscur, that's what I'm putting my vote on. I would like to see it win. I would like to see it win this one. I think it's got a good shot. It's got a good shot. And if you have not heard the score, if you have not heard the soundtrack from Clair Obscur, go check it out. Go check it out. That main menu music hits. It's just like, ooh, that's how you know it's something good. Okay, next we have Best Art Direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Nominees here are Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silk Song. Once again, every single one of these nominees here is deserving and would 100% earn their win for sure. I think the front runners in this category, I would say, would be Clair Obscur, again, because it does have a really like stunning visual design, visual art direction. Actually, hold on a second. Why is South of Midnight not here? And speaking of it, actually, how and why was South of Midnight not in the best score and music category? That is a shocking omission from each category. I don't understand how South of Midnight did not make it into best score and music when the music in that game was phenomenal and played a key role into like many of those boss fights, and just like literally going through levels, the music was a key part of it. Hell, why wasn't it in best sound and audio design actually? What? Huh? Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. If there was like anything South of Midnight needed to be nominated for, it should have been nominated for best score and music and best art direction at the very least. It not getting nominated for either of those is wild. That makes no sense to me. Not a lick of sense. Oh my god. Wow. I'm sorry I'm realizing this just now and it's like throwing things off a bit, but I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. That's an odd snub. That's an odd omission right there. Very odd omission. I mean, anyway, back to this best art direction. Again, I think any of these could win it. Front runners, I think, would be, like I was saying, Clair Obscur does look great. I did love the visual art style of it. It had a really good art style. Everything just looked so painterly and just picturesque. It had a good visual aesthetic. I did like this one. Death Stranding 2, I think, would be the next front runner because of just how goddamn good Kojima is at, like, you know, character rendering and having the characters look just like the actual actors and the level of detail he gets with it, and making these locations like seem so goddamn photorealistic. Like Death Stranding 2, I think, is like, if it's not Clair Obscur, it's gotta be Death Stranding 2, especially if you want to throw in like animation in there as well. Character animation with Death Stranding 2, it is top notch. And again, this is just me going based off of Death Stranding 1 and what I've seen from the trailers of Death Stranding 2. Like, Death Stranding 2 would be 1000% deserving of it. You know, so it's gonna go to, it could be any of these and I wouldn't be too mad. I think Ghost of Yotei is, it has a great visual aesthetic. if you had to drop one, I would drop Ghost of Yote solely so that South of Midnight could get in here. Like, quite honestly, I would. I don't like that South of Midnight got snubbed here. It should not have been snubbed here at all. No. This was theirs to win. This was their category to win, and they're not here to win it. And that doesn't sit right with me. That doesn't sit right with me at all. Alright, what do I think is going to win this? It's going to be one of these two, most likely Clair Obscur or Death Stranding. I'll go Clair Obscur because just the environments, the way the environments looked visually and everything, it was very creative, very interesting, very otherworldly, in many different ways. It was a great game, great looking game, great enemy designs, just top notch all around. So yeah, I'll go Clair Obscur on this, and I think it has a very good shot at winning it as well. All right, best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. We have Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. So, Ghost of Yote, of course, I played it, I finished it, I did my review, coming soon. I'm not going to give the goose away too much. I do think Ghost of Yote's story it's very good. It's great. It is better than Tsushima's. It's also not that groundbreaking, which it is not a bad thing. It doesn't need to be a groundbreaking story. It just it has to execute its ideas well, and it does do them well. But I think it's a fairly grand scheme of things, it's a standard type of story that you would get from, a AAA game nowadays. Cannot speak towards Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Silent Hill F, I've heard nothing but praise about that story, so I think it has a very good shot at winning this. Well, very good shot that being like fighting for second place with Death Stranding, unfortunately. Because Clair Obscur, it's going to win this, and I don't necessarily agree with that decision. I can't say I haven't played Death Stranding 2 yet or Silent Hill F, but this is where I'm gonna get into spoilers a bit for Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'm gonna try not to get too deep into them. If you've played the game, you'll be fine. If you haven't played the game, stick around if you want to, at your own discretion. For me, Clair Obscur Expedition 33's story was fantastic. I was super all in on the story until the end of Act 2. Once we get to Act 3 and we get the twist that the game has for us, revealing that, things were not what we thought they were the entire time, and bringing a whole nother layer and perspective on everything we knew up to that point, it was oh, okay, which I don't think the ideas that Act 3 introduced were bad necessarily. The idea that okay, now I'm going to get very specific with spoilers for Clair Obscur. So really, this is your last chance to jump ahead to the next time if you don't want to hear story spoilers. Finding out that, hey, everyone that we've been fighting alongside, the world that we've been inhabiting, is just a made-up world from a made-up world that was created by the real Verso and his actual family. Learning that Mael is actually the real Verso's younger daughter, who got thrown into the painting and had her reality overwritten by the creation that was made in the painting. And finding out, oh, she's actually Alicia. She's actually Verso's younger sister. And finding out that the paintress was actually the mother, the matriarch of the family. That the Renoir we've been fighting, is a different version of the actual real life Renoir. And just all of those ideas are not bad ideas. I think they are good ideas. But I don't think that the game gives them enough time to breathe and allow them to be given the same emotional weight and significance and investment that the prior plot had for the past 25, close to 30 hours of we need to stop the Painters so that we can save our world, so we can save our lives and secure our future. That plot I was so invested in it. And then to get the bait and switch of actually, no, the story, it's really about, at least somewhat about, this is a game where there's a family grieving the loss of someone and everyone's coping with the grief in their own different way. And the person you were trying to fight, it's just like they were not bad ideas. It just didn't get the space needed to breathe for me to really actually care about it, because I was so deeply invested in what we had before. So we got to this, I was just like, oh, I guess this is what we're doing now, and this is fine and all, but like, I just did not care as much as I did about everything before that. And so I feel like Clair Obscur squanders, like it stumbles at the end of the game, at the end of the narrative. It really does. Because like you get to this twist and then it's like, all right, just the last dungeon and that's it, you're done. There is no like really sitting with it and all, which is a shame, because I feel like if they balanced it better, in my opinion, the story could have been like as industry changing, godly, otherworldly as everyone on the internet makes the story out to be. For me, it faltered at the end. It lost its way. The endings themselves are also, they're depressing as hell. Depressing to an extent, but also like, neither ending is necessarily a good ending. I think one ending is very obviously and very clearly the better ending of the two. I'm not fighting this with you all. Verso's ending is clearly the better of the two, but they both have merit, okay? That's all I'm saying on that. Either way, I still enjoyed the game. I still enjoy the story. I wish it just... Act 3, I wish it was better. I wish it was so much better. So because of that alone, I cannot vote personally for Expedition 33. That is why I'm actually going to vote Ghost of Yotei. Because Ghost of Yotei, although its story is not too game changing, although the story is pretty standard for, AAA gaming and stuff, it is executed very well, start to finish. I was so invested in Atsu's story from minute 0. So to see it go the way it did and the reveals and stuff, it was a fantastic journey. I loved it. So that's why I'm voting Ghost of Yotei. That's what I personally would like to win. I know it's not going to. This is gonna go to Clair Obscur. Dark horses like Silent Hill or maybe Death Stranding. Clair Obscur is gonna take this. It is what it is, but I would love to see Ghost of Yotei take this. That's what I want. That's just what I want personally. Don't fight me. Don't come at me for it. All right. Best Game Direction. This is awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Nominees here are going to be Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hades 2, and Split Fiction. Love to see another Split Fiction nomination here. Love that. I think this could go any way. I'm not gonna go Ghost of Yotei on this. I think Split Fiction would be a dope win to see here. I don't think it's gonna get it, but that would be awesome to see it take the win here. I think this, again, goes to Clair Obscur or Death Stranding 2. I think Clair Obscur is gonna take it. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be, because going by the criteria, outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. And like, they might not have innovated really grand scheme of things with Clair Obscur too much, but they certainly had a vision. And they went for it and they executed very well on the vision that they had. Same for Death Stranding 2. And I should say, in the process, trying to push things forward for the JRPG genre, for the JRPG space. Death Stranding 2, I mean, this is Kojima. And Kojima, he, similar to Sam Lake and Remedy, they have their creative vision and they're like, we are going to bring this vision to life. A very specific vision. And they do it well. They do it so goddamn well. So that's why I could also see Death Stranding 2 taking this and winning it, and I wouldn't be mad at it, and I don't think many other people should be mad at it, especially if you've played Death Stranding or just a Kojima game in general. You should be able to see and just understand that, like, this game has this game has a vision for itself. It's not trying to just be another, you know, AAA open world game or just another AAA game in general. Like, it's trying to be something. It's trying to carve out its own space in the games industry, in the medium, in the artistic medium that is gaming, just in culture itself. It's trying to carve out a space for itself, carve out an identity for itself, as different and weird and interesting as it may be, and out there as it may be. From gameplay, visuals, story, whatever the case may be. So, like, Death Stranding 2, I could 100% see winning this and deserving this. Clair Obscur as well, can also see it winning it and deserving it, and very likely will win it and, you know, take the win here. What am I gonna vote for? You know, I'll vote Clair Obscur, because as much as I feel like the game, it's an amazing game, and as much as I do feel like people have put it on a pedestal that it does not need to be put on, deservedly or undeservedly so, I do think that the game, the vision that this team had with this game is a great one, and that they did execute on their vision very, very well. Just story-wise, visuals, gameplay, they had a vision and they nailed it, and I love that for them, and I love that for this game. So that's why I'm voting for this. I almost went Death Stranding 2 on this, even though I haven't played it yet. But yeah, I'm going Clair Obscur for best game direction here. All right, last category that we have here is Game of the Year. Of course, recognize the game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Nominees are Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is a category that I could see. I think what I will say here is that every game here has a very clear, earned, deserved shot at the spot, at the win, even if you haven't played them. If you just seen the conversation surrounding any of these games, you would understand why each of them deserves a win and could easily, understandably, take the win. That said, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I do not think it's going to get it. I'm sorry. You guys, fans of the game, you all the One Piece fans here that are going to be like, it's the best thing! And people are going to be like, sure, we're not doing it though. We're not doing it. I'm sorry, it's very likely not winning this. So it really comes down to more so these 5. And even with these 5, like, Donkey Kong's probably not going to get this, unfortunately, which means it comes down to one of these 4. And when you get it down to one of these 4, like, I'm shocked if anything other than Clair Obscur takes this, because, you know, with just the conversation around that game this entire year, with how everyone's been praising it to high heaven, some people saying, oh, this is the best game ever made, point blank period, game of the generation. I saw a tweet yesterday, some people might have seen it, saying that this game is going to be, it's a masterpiece that's going to be, it should be like core curriculum required playing for future generations. And that's just like, calm it down a bit. Calm down. Like, that's taking the rhetoric to another level. Like, if that's how you feel, it's fine. I don't want to take that away from you, but like, no. It's an amazing, Clair Obscur could be an amazing game, and it can just be an amazing game. It does not need to be all these different things just because we like it so much, or because you like it so much. I don't think, as much as I love Clair Obscur, as much as I enjoyed it, again, I gave the game a 9 out of 10. I reviewed it. It is a 9 out of 10 game on my scale. That is a superb game. Go check out my review if you have not already. I gave this game a 9 out of 10. I do not hate it. I love this game. But I don't know if I would say it's my game of the year. Granted, I have not played too many new releases from this year. None of the games that are here on this list, for sure. But I don't think I would say it's like a game, my game of the year. I'd have to really sit and think about it. But it's probably going to take the win. It's probably going to take the win because it has all the momentum behind it. You would think the Silk Song would it would be an easy one for Silk Song or Hades too, and they'd be fighting for first place. But this is like Clair Obscur's to win and everyone else to fight for like your spot in like the top 3. Clair Obscur is probably gonna win this, and you know, I wouldn't be mad at it. I would not be mad at that for the team because it is a very great game, and the team worked very hard on it, and they deserve all the praise that they have received for the game. I will not be a fan of the crazy fan just how over the top and hyperbolic the praise is going to get for Clair Obscur after it wins though. That is what I'm not looking forward to all that much. Because again, we need to dial down the rhetoric, guys, just a bit, please. It's a good game. It's a very amazing game. It is not the best game since Jesus introduced gaming to us. Okay, it is not God's gift to Earth. All right, and I'm sorry, I don't want to come off as me trying to be downplaying the game's success, downplaying anyone's feelings. There's a certain phrase and I'm losing it. A Debbie Downer. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I hate to be that person. I don't want to be that person. All I am encouraging is more measured, level-headed conversations, or more measured, level-headed ways in which we talk about games and games that we enjoy. It does not need to be this this is changing gaming. This changes everything for everyone. It doesn't need to be that. And I hate that Clair Obscur has become that for so many people in so many different ways. And I'm not looking forward to seeing it continue to become that after it wins Game of the Year. Because unfortunately, in that regard, it's going to win it. It will, again, like I said, every game here has a clear path where it clearly deserves and earns its win, and Clair Obscur 100% would deserve a Game of the Year win from the Game Awards. It would. Music is fantastic. The story was really great. The characters were awesome. The combat was top notch. The RPG character building was stellar. Just everything. The music, oh my gosh, fantastic. But yeah, you know, I'll vote for it. But I think it'll win. I'm only voting for it because it's what's here. It's not what I would personally say is like my Game of the Year. I'd really have to think about that, but it is what it is. That's what's taking the win right now. So there you go. So those are my predictions are what is going to be winning at the Game Awards this year, the 2025 Game Awards. They are going to be held December 11th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. It should be a good show. I'm looking forward to it. You know, this is all my thoughts on what I think is going to win, what I hope will win. Let me know if you agree down in the comment section below. I know this was a long video, longer than normal ones, but these conversations are typically longer conversations. So I hope you stuck in there. I hope you had a good time. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Again, let me know down below your thoughts on my predictions and what you predict is going to be winning and what you want to win at the show. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit the notification bell that way you know as soon as new videos go live. My name is Tyler. This has been The Comfy Spot, and we'll talk next time. Have a good one.